Aquarius, I was thinking about your reading. This is for September 2025. And I got the image of a little bell, you know, like in old-fashioned houses if you rang for the butler. It was like that kind of a bell. And then I thought, what do bells mean? And there's like an alarm bell, and there is an inkling, which is more of what I got. And the white butterfly is just going past the window right now, and I think it will probably come back the other way, but I'll let you know. Keep you posted. This tinkling of a bell. So for me, that's like, what do you need to know? What is kind of, whenever I go behind my head, it's intuition. So what little inkling do you have that is intuition that you need to pay attention to? Okay, so I'm going to have a look. We're going to throw some cards. We're going to look at career. We're going to look at love. We're going to look at relationships. We're going to look at anything we need to know as we come into September, which of course is a month with 2 eclipses in it, on the 7th and I think the 21st. First card I get for you, Aquarius, is the 4 of Pentacles. Now, I like this because if we're looking in terms of career, or, you know, career is a funny word because it's the whole kind of, you know, for me, it conjures up images of grabbing your briefcase and doing the commute and fighting with others to get what you want. And I'm working at my hard job. But these days we do all sorts of things, don't we? You know, maybe you go to your job and you do dog grooming and you meet loads and loads of dogs, which is quite a nice thing to do, actually. Or you are an artist, or you are self-employed, or you teach in 3 different places. People these days, especially Aquarians and my Aquarius friends, and let me know, what are you doing? Are you like riding 2 horses with 1 arse the whole time and kind of doing a bit of this, and then I'm doing a bit of that, I'm doing a bit of the other, whack this hat on, doing a bit of that? Because my Aquarius friends are very much like that. A lot of them are self-employed, a lot of them box and cocks different things. So I like that for you, and I like that you get the 4 of Pentacles. Because as we can see here, someone's holding all those pentacles and there's an apprentice learning to make jewelry. So there's something here about prospects. We've got grapes on the vine, and grapes on the vine, Aquarius, are a very good thing. We love a bit of grapes on the vine because grapes on the vine is money in the bank. It's my house is secure, whether, you know, owned, rented, or whether you sort of in a teepee, it's your area. You're making it yours. You're gathering the rosebuds. You're making the grapes grow nice. Then we get a big old major arcana. Not just an advert for Flash Cleaner. This is justice. Now, when we get justice in a reading, for me, it's kind of, it's about karma. So I wonder what has been going on for you in terms of what's coming in for you and what you're putting out, particularly in terms of how hard you're working and how much money you're getting back. I think it's time to talk money. And Aquarians are generally okay with talking about money because money's just another form of energy to Aquarius, I think. Let me know in the comments. By the way, I always like to learn about the star sign that I'm talking about, that I'm reading for. So let me know anything, especially unusual, weird stuff, because I'm kind of compiling it all as I go along. But you may have something coming up. So there may be a situation, there may be a meeting, there may be something legal going on. There may be just a karmic debt is paid to you, or something at work. This is only for 1 or 2 of you. Something at work that's been off kilter kind of blows up around the 7th. We've got this full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which I'm a Pisces, and frankly, a full moon lunar eclipse is a hot mess. It's a good hot mess, and it's a hot mess that was needed. But just know, around the time of the 7th of September, tempers will run high, emotions will run high, but people will also blab the farm. So high chance of people chucking a blub at work, like maybe even you. I mean, I only chucked a blub at work like twice in 15 years when I was in a job, but I didn't know it was coming either time. So it could also be, though, that you really get to the bottom of what's bothering you, what's bothering them, what's bothering them, what's bothering everybody that they've been keeping under their hat for the past 6 months or so. We'll have a look in your love life whether that also constitutes the same thing happening, where everything, you know, comes out and all the things you've wondered about start washing out. It's like psh, release. I always think of it as like a water bomb, you know, when you were a kid and you used to fill it up on the tap and then usually drop it on the floor, and usually drop it on this floor, and your mum would be like, I told you that was going to happen. So spilling the beans, letting it out, getting to the bottom of it. Then we've got a couple of weeks. Then we've got a partial solar eclipse, a new moon eclipse in Virgo, which I'm very excited about, because all of that fumfing around and confessing and blubbing and scuffling and whatever we do in that first sort of from the 7th, then starts to get tidied up and put into a bit of a plan. You know, actually, this is what I want. I don't want that. I've told you now I don't want that. I've explained it. We've got it off our chests. Now let's move forward to this. Okay. Oof. Ding dong ding. King of Swing. The King of Swing. Woohoo. King of Pentacles. Now, this is King Midas using the Mythic Tarot today. This is King Midas, and of course, he knew how it's all about the ka-ching ka-ching for King Midas, right? It's all about the ka-ching ka-ching for you as well. Now, sometimes we find talking about money a bit ugly. You know, sometimes we've been brought up that people don't talk about that kind of thing. You need to. So you may need to check in with your accountant if you have one. You may need to just do a bit of Googling, maybe just check out all your accounts, even the dead ones with like £5 in or 5 pence or whatever it is, because it's going to become necessary. It's going to become crucial. King of Pentacles can be somebody like a boss or somebody headhunting, somebody offering you an opportunity, but it can also be you. You become like the King of Pentacles, kind of patient, a little bit sensible, I know, which is not normal Aquarius territory, but hear me out. It's Earth, and we've got a new moon eclipse in Earth in Virgo, which is very, let's plan, let's do this, let's know where we're going. I love this for you because you've got justice coming into the King of Pentacles. So wipe the slate clean, get everything out on the table, reset the karma. If you have a legal dispute going on, someone is really sneezing next door, by the way, that's really coming through the wall. It's amazing. It's like I'm right next to them. If you have a legal dispute that's been rumbling on, or even hasn't, but it's happening, that could pay out. Okay? Justice to the King of Pentacles. We love that stuff. So if you're unhappy with your job, if you're wanting to develop your side hustle, if you're wanting to expand your income somehow, if you're wanting to reinvest whatever you've got, even if that just means moving it from one account to another, do that thing. And then we get the Seven of Wands. This is a very feisty card. When we get the Seven of Wands, we're talking here about defending your position, standing where you need to stand, drawing the line where you need to draw the line, having your boundaries, and not letting anybody talk you out of that. Standing strong in your position. Now, this could be in a legal case, this could be in an argument, this could be in your job, this could be you setting up your finances, doesn't really matter. Then we have the Two of Swords. Ugh, God, that's not what I wanted to see at this point. The Two of Swords just says, look, Let me show you the cards. Well, it's me that says that. But what's happening here? Two of Swords. Okay. So whatever this is and the progress that you make. Hang on. Let's do a bit of that. The progress that you make here with Justice and with the King of Pentacles, there is a fly in the ointment. Maybe you already know what this is. All you need to do during this time is stand firm. Okay? When you get the Two of Swords, then it's something will happen. Either there'll be a little delay, but it's only minor arcana. It's not Hanged Man energy, and let's see what happens with that. There will be some bluffing or some silence, or you just need to sit tight with that. Okay, state your case, take your position, draw your line, sit tight. It will come good. And don't worry about that. That's just a lull. Okay, literally just a lull. So when that happens, you get the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you will need to be very singular. And also there will be, as there is nearly always with these kinds of things, there will be a sacrifice. And the Five of Pentacles is a card of sacrifice, but it's like you will need to go it alone in some way. You will need to break out of your comfort zone in some way to achieve. Now, this is quite normal, and personally, and let me know in the comments, I think that Aquarians are very good at going out of their comfort zone because you're not completely attached to your comfort zone. Okay, let's have a look at your love life. So we're looking here. What is coming in for Aquarius, love and relationships? What do we need to know, please? Aquarius, love and relationships. There will be an extended love reading after this. So if it really resonates with you, the link is underneath the video. Ooh, Aquarius. What's going on with you? Three of Swords. Oof. You know when we talked about that Pisces full moon eclipse, and I said, if there are things that need to be brought to light, if there are tears that need to be shed, if there needs to be a robust exchange of views, and we all know what that means, that may well happen. We have here Clytemnestra. Agamemnon's in the bath. He's got back from Argo, I think, or Troy, or whatever it is, fighting the Trojan War, and she goes and tops him off while he's having a glug of matey in the bath. She has her reasons. Go look up the story. But this is the Three of Swords. It's getting to the bottom of something. And I love that we get the Fool right next to it. But like with the Five of Pentacles, the Fool is not easily won. Okay, when we get to be the Fool, we've been round the whole of the major arcana, and we've seen a few things. You know what I mean? We've seen a few things. We've done a few things. We've said a few things. We know a few things by now. It's not our first rodeo. So when we have the Three of Swords, it's telling you that there is something currently in your love and relationships, whatever status they are, where it's holding you back. Now, it can be old wounds. It can be an ex. It can be a pattern, but the Three of Swords is asking for your attention with it. It's like, I want to know about this. I want you to see this. I want to know. And then the Fool comes in, and the Fool is literally a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air, which you've got some courage in dealing with this. And Aquarians do have a lot of emotional courage. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it doesn't really matter because who cares? It's a good thing to have it. But just know that you will be rewarded for delving and examining and getting to the bottom of Three of Swords. If you're in a relationship, you know, if you have a big talk, the BT, around the 7th, around that Pisces lunar eclipse, 1, it could go on all night. 2, it could get a bit out of hand. But 3, it could really lay a lot of ghosts to rest. I know. You are the emotional ghostbusters at this time. Then we have the Fool. And the Fool is like this fresh start, this idea of anything's possible. Anything is possible. Venus in Aquarius. I have Venus in Aquarius. Okay, so we have the Fool who then goes into Venus in Aquarius. Oh my God, I want to take another card for that as well. Hang on. Okay, cool. For some of you in a relationship, there is some kind of, I want to say, holding back around the future, or holding back around talking about the future, talking about emotions, talking about not the truth as in, you know, I think this coming from my head, but I feel this coming from my heart. And it's what happens here is we get a mental clarity with the Knight of Swords. And we like this because this is a kind of Gemini and Aquarius card. So you have a mental clarity, or they have a mental clarity. There is a clarity. It makes sense. But there are feelings here that have been so far kind of unacknowledged in some way. Just going to move my square a little bit. Feelings that have been unacknowledged, not... Maybe you got interrupted in your big talk. Hang on. Tell me about this. Yes. That. And that. Right, okay. Let's get rid of me completely for a second. Right, Aquarius, pay attention to this. 7 of Swords. Now, 7 of Swords, not to be ignored, particularly this one, very good 7 of Swords. There is something still that needs to be communicated, needs to be talked about. I'm going to say needs to be put to bed. Needs to be confronted, dealt with, talked about, put to bed. And the 9 of Wands, defenses and boundaries. What I'm getting from this love reading here is something buried quite deep, which may or may not be connected to a person that you're currently seeing. Could be to do with someone in the past, could be to do with your childhood. You know, the 3 of Swords really goes very deeply into a person historically, emotionally. It's not just, oh, you know, this is how I feel today or whatever. Then the Fool, the break for freedom, which all Aquarians need, want, must have. You know, Aquarius is a sign very much represented by freedom. Oh, and Aquarius is, and this is just my observations, I've never really met a very jealous Aquarius. Not really, maybe a little bit, but not. Aquarius appreciates the human need for movement and free thinking. Okay, so there is something here. It could be as simple that there is just something you're sensing. You know that there is something that you need to know. You know. I'm just writing that down. You just have a sense of it. But the Nine of Wands here is, it's like a high wall. It's really hard to get over it and you can't get under it. Can you get on top? That's the question. Okay, let me just have a look at this. I'm going to do something that I sometimes do in the extended reading. But I'm going to do it here first. I may do it again in the extended reading as well. But let's just do it here first. I'm just going to take another card for the Seven of Swords. But I'm going to use the same deck because I have two versions of this deck. Exciting times, Aquarius. It's a little technique that I really, really like to use. Double decking. Double decking. Hoof. Hoof and a doof. And a hoof. Now, keen-eyed amongst you. Swing. Okay. So this Five of Pentacles, this is a king who is dressing up as a poor man by wearing a raggedy ass, like, what do they call that? Sackcloth or whatever. This is me going down to the shop to get a bottle of milk, early doors, okay? You know the drill. And this person is sneaking out of the palace. That's why there's so many gold coins strapped to the front of the palace. Notice in the back, that's like an eclipse. So think, I'm thinking kind of, well, I'm thinking 21st of September, new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, because we've got the coins, we've got the earth, we've got all of that jazz. Seven of Swords is somebody acting in their own best interests. Now, we should all act in our own best interests. But I feel like this is going to... Well, I'm going to take another card. Tell me more about the Three of Swords, please. I'm liking this. We get the Knight of Cups for the Three of Swords. Okay, this is like a love offer that comes in. Somebody offers you something. They want to talk about something, or someone asked you out, or there is just some offering of love, of feelings. Knight of Cups, all about the feels, you know, got the white horse going on, got some nice armor on, you know, putting himself together, looking good and offering a cup, which is always a good sign because that's like, here's my feelings, here's my heart, here's my thoughts and feelings. So something triggers a Three of Swords reaction. It can be somebody making a request. It can be somebody asking you out. It can be somebody you haven't heard from in a while and then you get a text. Whatever it is, you're kind of one foot in the past and one foot in the future here. And there's caution. You are cautious about what this means and whether you can move forward. And I think my advice here with the Seven of Swords and clarifying it with the Five of Pentacles is that you are the king in the Five of Pentacles in this scenario, because you were the king up here. So this doesn't mean, yes, I think you should sneak around. This means I think you need to only act in your own best interests in this situation. So what does that look like? What does it look like when we act in our own best interests? This is why I do double decking, right? And a lot of you must be tarot readers or some kind of magic people, because when I do this and I get the cards like doubling up all the time, that's why. Okay, what does it mean to act in your own best interest? The Two of Swords. Honestly, you look at it. It's identical. Okay, so what you need to do with your money is what you need to do with your love life. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything this month. So think in terms of truth, karma, justice, investment. Who's investing in me? Are they investing? Am I investing in myself? Am I holding my boundary? Am I holding my position? Can I cope with delay, not doing anything, waiting it out, having good timing rather than acting out of emotion? Okay. Can I go my own way? And then down here, when something comes in that knocks me off balance because it looks like it might be really nice, have I dealt with all the demons I need to deal with about this situation? Do I know everything I need to know? Can I move forward as the Fool with freedom? The Five of Swords. I feel a bit emotionally cautious, or is it just my brain? Can I put this into words? Can I understand it? The Seven of Swords. Is there something I don't know? Do I have a funny inkling about something? And if so, what do I need to do about it? Why is somebody so defended? Five of Pentacles. I need to go my own way in this too. I need to represent myself. I need to put myself first, always. And I may need to hold off saying or doing something until I completely know the entire picture. Boom. Boom. Okay. In the extended reading, which I am about to go and do right now, I'm going to be looking into this. I'm going to take some new cards for the other side of the equation, for the other person. How do they feel? I want to say, what are they hiding? So I'm going to say it. Are they hiding something? And we'll have a dig. And also, what's your best way forward? Could it be a wiggly road, or is it just a straight freeway? We will find, not a three-way, a freeway or a three-way. Who knows what cards will come out? I'm glad it's Aquarians that I'm reading for. The link is underneath in the description box. I will see you on the other side if you dare. Namaste.